ஹாய் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், எல்லோருக்கும் வணக்கம். ஸோ இப்போ என்ன வீடியோ பார்க்க போகிறோன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, ஹேர் கட் கிளாஸ் தான். பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இது வந்து பேசிக் தெரிஞ்சவங்களுக்கு தான் இந்த அட்வான்ஸ் கட் வந்து உங்களுக்கு வந்து புரியும். ஸோ இது வந்து பியூட்டிஷியனாக இருந்தால் நீங்கள் உங்களுக்கு ஆல்ரெடி எனக்கு ஹேர் கட்டு தெரியும் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறவங்களுக்கு வந்து இது வந்து கண்டிப்பாக புரியும். ஸோ இது வந்து அட்வான்ஸ் லேயர் கட்டு தான். இந்த சார் வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா ஃப்ரீயாக வந்து ஹேர் ஸ்டைலிஸ்ட் விகாஸ்ன்னு சொல்லிட்டு மும்பை ஹேர் ஸ்டைலிஸ்ட்டு இவர் தான் எங்களுக்கு வந்து கிளாஸ் எடுத்தார். இவர் எடுத்த கிளாஸ் வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா எங்களுக்கு வந்து ஃப்ரீ கிளாஸ் தான். இப்போ வந்து இந்த கிளாஸ் வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா எக்ஸ்போவில் ஹைதராபாத்தில் எடுத்துக்கிட்டு இருக்காரு. ஸோ அந்த வீடியோ தான் இது வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா. ஸோ இவரை பற்றி தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்காக தான் இந்த வீடியோ வந்து நான் வந்து போட்டிருந்தேன் நான். ஸோ இப்போ வாங்க அவர் வந்து எங்களுக்கு வந்து எந்த மாதிரி கிளாஸ் எடுத்தார், எப்படிலாம் எங்களுக்கு கிளாஸ் போச்சு அப்படிங்கிற வீடியோ பார்க்கலாம். இதுக்கு முன்னாடி பார்த்திங்கன்னா ஒரு வீடியோ வந்து இவர் வந்து டம்மியை வச்சு எப்படி ஹேர் கட் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கொடுத்த வீடியோ வந்து ஷேர் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். ஸோ இதையும் பார்த்து தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. இப்போ வாங்க வீடியோக்குள்ளே போகிறோம்.
Expo, and these guys are learning a lot of new cutting techniques, styling techniques, learning how to use the new tools in the market from 80 Pro, and we had amazing fun. We shared great knowledge and great tips. Yes.
That means when your client wants layers only at the bottom of the hair, you use a separate technique. And when the client wants layers to be from the top to bottom, there are different techniques. In the previous section, take it again to the center profile. Check the length of your guideline. The darker hair is your guideline. The lighter hair is supposed to be cut. The darker hair is your guideline, and the lighter hair is supposed to be cut. Okay, the section straight up and cut. The last section, again, if you can't hold the entire section, you can divide the hair into two parts. Take the section, over direct, stand on the opposite side and cut. Over direct the section, bring it to the center profile, check the length of your guideline, cut. Again, from the section, lift the section and cut. What will happen? When you are over directing, that means you are making the hair travel from down to the top. The perimeter of the hair will become longer. Okay? The perimeter of the hair will become longer and the length of the hair will stop. So what will happen? The layers will come only towards the bottom of the hair. Okay? Now, coming to the right side, let's have a slight change. If you want the layers to be from the top to the bottom, what will you do? Any suggestion?
I didn't get you.
Now this side we did over direction. Why? Because we wanted the leg to be longer. Now you want the layers to be all over. What we can do is we can take diagonal back sections. We'll take diagonal back sections and comb everything at 90 degrees from the scalp. So this case we over directed the section to make the length of the hair longer. So you get layers near the bottom. Now this side we take a diagonal section. Okay, we lift the section straight up and cut it at 90 degrees.
90 degree.
Again, lift the section straight up and 90 degrees. Parallelly on the other side, what we are doing? After the Pro Motorex application is completed, 90 degree and cutting. So basically, the technique is called combing, holding and cutting. Combing, holding and cutting. Can you repeat with me? Combing, holding and cutting. Combing, holding and cutting. So most of the time when we do haircuts, we use a finger, right, and the thumb. So this has to be a little flexible. So what we do is we do some thumb exercises to make the hand more flexible. So let's have all the hands together. Let's have all the hands together in the front. What we do is we will close the finger and touch your thumb to the last part, to the end of the If you can't hold the entire section, you can divide the section into two parts and cut. Alright? One side was over direction, and the second side was the 90 degrees. Let me match it together, because otherwise both the sides will look different. This was just to show you an example where you want to create layers at the bottom, you will do over direction technique, and when you don't want to create layers at the bottom, you want the layers to be throughout, then you will use the 90 degree technique from the scalp. 90 degrees when the hair is perpendicular from the scalp. Like how we have D in the geometry. We've done geometry classes, for example, this is the D in the geometry, right? This angle is known as your 90 degree angle. This angle is known as a 0 degree angle, and this is basically 180 degree angle. 90 degrees when the hair is straight. That means when you keep the comb, this is your scalp. For example, this is your face, this is your eyes, this is your nose. Okay? When the hair is straight from the scalp, use angles and degrees. So for example, this is my side profile. Okay? This is my hairline. This is 90 degrees. The same thing goes here, it becomes 90 degrees. If you make a P, it becomes 90. So this is how you can check your degrees and angles when you're doing haircuts. Okay, so what I've done here was the 90 degree angle straight up from the scalp, giving here to the hair. If I take this and I over direct, the angle changes, the perimeter of the hair becomes longer. This part will become shorter, this part will become longer. And when it will fall, it will become chota bada 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 bada. Yes.
அவங்க லெஃப்ட் சைடு இருந்து பண்ணும்போது ரைட்ல வந்து தள்ளி பண்ணாங்க இல்லையா? இப்போ நீங்க பண்ணும்போது இந்த பக்கமே இருக்கீங்க, லெஃப்ட்லயே இருக்கீங்க, ஆங்கிள் ஏன் மாற்றலன்னு கேட்டேன். அதுக்கு அவங்க எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன் கொடுத்துருந்தேன்னா கண்ணாடி இருந்துச்சுன்னா நீங்கள் அதை பார்த்து கரெக்டாக பண்ணலாம். கண்ணாடி இல்லைன்னா நீங்கள் அந்த 180 டிகிரி
இப்போ பாருங்க, ரெண்டு ஒன்று போல் சேர்த்து வச்சு தான் கட் பண்ணுறாரு. இந்த சைடு அதிகமாக இருக்குது.
எல்லா இடத்துலையும் 90 டிகிரி பண்ணும்போது இந்த இடத்துல நீங்க இந்த பக்கம் எடுத்து வச்சு 90 டிகிரில பண்ணும்போது கம்மியா அவ்வளோ முடியும்.
See, 90 degrees when you follow the head shape. You follow the head shape, so you have to stand where you can see the angles. Okay, this side is 180 degree, where you are increasing the length. And if there is a mirror, I can stand on the opposite side and cut. Okay. Now let's come back to the back. The back section. And right now what I am doing is, I am mixing, you don't have to do this also, because you will anyway do one hair at a time. Coming to the back. Let's start the back.
Okay.
Alright, what I do is first I make a straight baseline, solid line. Alright, for that I take straight horizontal section, straight vertical section, from the crown to the nape. I take a straight line, go down, keep my fingers straight and cut. Alright, I can show it to my client. I am cutting this much right now. It will still go this much, about 2 inches, and I add layers in the hair. So right now what I am doing is just to create a baseline. I make a straight line, keeping my fingers straight to the parting, and I create a straight line just to remove the edges. Okay, this is my fresh guideline. I divide the guideline into two equal parts, half on the left, half on the right. Again, I comb the hair backwards, behind, check the length of my guideline and cut. This will give me straight line. If I want U shape, I will take it on the side. It will become U. But if I want,
Which cut we are supposed to give U
That depends on you and your client.
Okay.
You as a stylist will decide, I want one length or I want U shape. Or your client, during the consultation, you will decide whether you want straight or you want U. If you want straight, you will take comb it behind the shoulder. If you want U, you comb it on the shoulder. It becomes U shape. Okay?
Straight zero cut.
Zero cut is maximum time when you want, when you're doing smoothing, rebonding, straightening, that time you do maximum straight cut. So the hair becomes more heavy. Okay? When you want the hairs to be little flowy, that time you do a little bit of U cut. Because everything depends on how you and your client wants during the part of your consultation. Just to show you, this is my guideline. When you're doing the left side, you will cut from inside to outside. And when you're doing the right side, you will cut from outside to inside. Okay? How? Let's watch. Now, I can also make a stand. If you guys are calling me regularly, then signal karo. Okay? So, to the bottom. From the top to the bottom. You can't go that high, you can't go. You can divide into Take a matchbox. Take a matchbox section. Lift the section straight up. Over direct. Again, lift the section straight up. So when you're combing, you want strong grip, use the fine side of the comb. When you're taking section, use the wide side of the comb. When I'm taking section, I use the wide side of the comb, but when I'm cutting, I use the fine side of the comb. I take a section with the firm grip, I hold the section straight up, lift the section straight up, and 90 plus over direct grip, and cut. Again, I'm making a fresh new guideline, hold the section straight up, cut. Again, combing, holding, and it will go from short to long. Right? So when this section will drop, what will happen? It will become shorter, longer, longer, longer. So the length of the hair will become longer, and you will still have layers in the hair. So this becomes your guideline. Take a section. Again, we lift the section straight up. If you can hold the entire section, can't go very good. Otherwise, divide into two parts.
So can you done this?
Yes. Take this section. Again, lift the section straight up and over direct. Over direct. The hair which is shorter, we done. Okay. Yeah. Match the length of your guideline. So the entire section is over directed on the top and okay. So what I have done was, I took the entire section from the top of the crown to the bottom of the nape. I lifted the entire section up and over directed. So it was 90 degree plus over directed and bring it at the center of the crown. That is the highest part of the head. The highest part of the head, the top of the crown. I lift the entire section, bring it at the top of the crown and cut at an angle of shorter to longer. So the hair is shorter in the top and longer at the back. So these are basically internal layers. External, there are no layers. It is only internal layers. Okay? Understood? Now, after this, you divide the hair into two equal parts. That is from the center profile. Again, divide the hair into two equal parts. You know how the orange is?
Okay.
It has one point and then there are slices. So these are called, yes, pivot radial sections. So we take orange section and each section will be over directed to the top of the crown. So what I do is I divide the guideline into two equal parts. I take my orange field section, I lift the section straight up. Again, I lift the section straight up. Over direct the section to the previous cut. The dark hair will be my guideline and the light hair is supposed to be cut. So the dark hair is my guideline and the light hair is supposed to be cut. And I match the angles. So I match the length of my hair to the previous cut section. I can also do a little bit of point cutting if I want a little bit of more texture in the hair. Okay? So every section is over directed to the top. And then go down. Alright? Same thing. Again, taking an orange field section, taking slices, radial section. Each section will be over directed to the top. Each section will be over directed to the top and cut. I also have some head sheets to draw some diagrams. I will pass on it to you. What we will do is we will draw some diagram to learn the angle system of cutting there. Okay? Okay? Again, every section was lifted up and cut. Again, every section is lifted up to the top of the crown and cut. So when this will go down, it will create short to long angle. So you see, now see, can you see the difference? When we cross check, what I'm doing right now is taking the entire section just to cross check. Check. Now you see, wherever I have added layers, the hair has become light. And wherever there is no layer, the hair has become heavy. One side is very heavy, one side is very light. Because
it makes the lower part very, very thin.
no, it will make the lower part more heavy. Reason why you are not adding layers to the hair. So you see, the internal part has become light, but the nuclear part will remain thicker because there is still weight in the hair. If you want to reduce the weight, then there are techniques to reduce weight. But generally, what will happen? When you are doing a over direction, and you have pencils, right? Okay. So what we do is we will do some diagrams and to understand what we did. While the processing time is still on, we are keeping a watch on the processing time also. Okay, we are keeping a watch on the processing time of the model here. After that, we will start with step number 2, which is again the
lunch time.
first we have to remove the extra product. Remove the extra product from there using the
break
இல்லை அவ்வளோதான் முடியும்.
ரொம்ப டைம்
left hand, the brush is in my right hand. When I do a blow dry, I lift up the section. If you want volume in your blow dry, you will lift up the section again at 90 degree. If you do not want volume in your blow dry, again you will go down at 0 degree, 45 degree. Right. So when I do a blow dry, firstly, using the ceramic brush to create more shine, I will blow dry from the roots to the mids. From the root to the mid. Then from the mids to the end. Okay? Okay, and then we are going to learn one more haircut technique, right? Are you doing it or not doing it?
We are doing one more haircut, right?
Yes.
சரி, அந்த one more haircut முன்னாடி எத்தனை பேர் வந்து botox ஒரு லிஸ்ட் கொடுங்க.
பண்ணிட்டு 2 மாசம் சொல்லிக்கலாம்.
Friends, see